Let's discuss more now with Republican Congressman Kelly Armstrong of North Dakota. Congressman, your response to what we saw take place overnight.
I think we saw that when Iran tried to shoot into Israel, that with the right resources and the right allies, Israel blocked 98% plus of it. And Israel proved last night to the Iranian regime they can hit them anywhere within their homeland. So hopefully the response appears to be proportional, and we'll see if we can get everything to cool down a little bit.
Yeah, and Congressman, I mean, does it add the events of the last week, does it add some urgency to get these foreign aid bills through the House? I mean, there's been so much talk about this aid for Ukraine, but I mean, obviously aid to Israel is part of this as well. Has this added some urgency?
Well, I think so. I think last week added the urgency. I mean, the reality is we're using $1 million missiles to strike down $50,000 drones. And that's the reality, but it worked really, really effectively. What Israel needs is resources, and they need freedom to operate. And that's how I think the Republican conference has looked at that in the same way. And I mean, from our perspective, I mean, every time they chant death to Israel and Iran, they followed up with death to America. I mean, this is a real strategic national interest for the United States.
And what about aid to Ukraine? Let's shift to that if we can. What are you planning to do on that? Where are you at right now on that?
Well, I think the biggest problem with this right now, and the unfortunate side of what we have going on our side, is, I mean, we'll see what the amendment process is, but there's a lot of us that believe in getting lethal aid to Ukraine. We think we could get it paid for, but because we can't get out of our own way, I think we're essentially going to have to swallow what the Senate sent us. And to my knowledge, and as far as I'm aware, we'll see what the final package is. There's just too much non-lethal money engaged in there, and not enough oversight.
And so you think it'll pass by this weekend? We'll see all of these measures go through and over to the Senate?
I think, yeah. I mean, if I had to guess, I think they'll all pass, probably with different coalitions. I think that'll be the case. But I mean, the first step is obviously the rule vote here in a little bit, and we'll make sure that goes. We'll have an amendment process tomorrow and open debate. You know, I've said this since we got here and we got involved in this. If there's ever been anything that deserved real, honest, open debate on the floor of the House, it's the United States' position as regard to the conflict in Ukraine. And unfortunately, we haven't had that opportunity yet.
And if all of this aid is going to pass at the end of the day, I mean, what was the point of these last couple of months, this whole exercise that we saw in the House with some of the members of your party, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and so on, sort of gumming up the works, threatening the Speaker and his gavel and so on? Was that productive?
I don't know if I would call it productive. I think the original portion of this is there are a lot of us, again, that think the United States has a role in the Ukrainian conflict, and but wants more oversight, wants less money spent for non-lethal means, and then each and every one of us goes home to our constituents, and the number one issue on everybody's plate at home is the border, and it's really, really frustrating to my constituents in North Dakota that we haven't been able to figure that out. So, I mean, I agree with the original attempt to try and couple Ukrainian aid with border security. But I think, I mean, the Speaker has made a call. I respect the Speaker's decision. He's in the big chair. We've got a 2-vote majority, and we're going to move forward right now.
I mean, what do you think? I mean, I understand you're heading for the exits. If I'm not mistaken, you're going to be leaving the House of Representatives. A lot of your colleagues are doing the same thing. We hear a lot of staffers are doing the same thing, and almost everybody, you know, down to just about every person says it's because the House is kind of unworkable at this point. What's your assessment? Is it because people like Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene are kind of in charge over there? What's going on?
I disagree with that, at least in my personal perspective. This is the second best job in all of politics. Just turns out for me, the best job in all of politics opened up, and that's the governor of North Dakota. So, but yeah, a lot of people are frustrated. A lot of people want to actually govern, want to pass rules. I think one of the things we forget, and we'll get to do it a little bit tomorrow, is when Kevin McCarthy got elected Speaker, he democratized the House. I mean, I served for the first 4 years here under Speaker Pelosi, and it wasn't even that minority members could bring amendments. She wouldn't even allow her committee chairs to bring amendments on bills. And I just hope we keep that process open. I know
Did he democratize it a little too much, though, where one person can bring the motion to vacate? That might be too much of a good thing.
Yeah, I think when you have a 1-vote majority, which we'll have next week, and you have a one vote motion to vacate, I think that's a real structural problem for the majority, and I think it needs to be changed.
All right, Congressman Armstrong, best of luck to you. Thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks.